So I'm super excited to introduce Cornell. We met last December, December 2015 at Date with Destiny, the Tony Robbins event.
Mhm.
And we literally had like a 10-minute conversation and became friends.
I didn't even know if it was 10 minutes. I think it was like 3. It was like in the
Yeah, it
middle of
was
like
really
talking to
fast on
somebody
one of
and
the
giving a
breaks.
high five. It was like, hey, what's up? You have curly hair. I'm black. And that was it.
And he's like, I'm from Jersey. Why? I'm from New York and New Jersey too. Yeah, so
No, that was
we
it.
stayed in contact, but he's just incredible. He's an author. He's a father. He was doing these amazing Facebook lives and videos with his 2 little kids. So cute. But author, three times over, basketball coach. I'm probably missing a couple other things, but he's just, I'm super excited to just let him rip, talk to you about coming obstacles, the power of positive, bring it. So
Awesome. Thank
the
you.
floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody hear me okay? If you're driving, please do not look at the screen. Like, no matter how crazy I get, just stay focused on the road. I'm getting scared for that person driving in the top corner. So like all those things that Eva said that were very nice. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. That's why she's my little sister. So I want to share a little bit about my story with you guys, and then kind of go from there, because my story tackles a lot of stuff, and hopefully it can inspire you, and then just talk a little bit about your business for like 4 seconds, because I really do believe that the business that you're in is about connection, and it's about speaking to people. When I talk to multi-level marketing, network marketing, the biggest thing that I say is it's about a conversation. And if you can have a conversation, you can be very successful with it. If you sound like a transformer, like a robot, it's going to be very hard for people to think you're authentic, and it's going to be even harder for them to believe anything that you're pitching or selling, which I hate even saying. It's more sharing than anything. So I was brought up in adversity. When I was about 3.5 years old, my father, Bobby Thomas, who was a police officer in the city of Passaic, New Jersey, he passed away from cancer. So I always tell people now that adversity is your best education, because you learn about who you are right away. So at a very young age, my father's passing changed not only my life, my siblings' life, but it also changed my mom's life. She was stuck raising 5 kids on her own with literally no money, and one of my brothers being autistic. So people say that things happen for a reason. My mom brought me up on that, but I didn't know the reason when I was younger why I didn't have a father until as I got older. So I realized that my father's passing, it made my mom into the lion that she is. And by lion, I mean she is like literally an absolute lioness. She would come home from her 3rd job, get all her crazy kids to bed, feed us, and then go back to work at night. I found out just a couple months ago that she was in nursing school. So she was in nursing school, had 3 jobs, and was raising 5 kids on her own in the city. And so when people ask me, like, Cornell, why don't you sleep, and why are you such a crazy person? I say, well, there's this 5'2¼ woman named Tina Thomas that literally is responsible for who I am today. So that's why. So as I was growing up, not having a connection with my father, not really knowing my father, I just had memories of him. So when you lose a parent at a very young age, you don't know if the memories that you have are yours or if they're someone else's. And I heard so many stories about my dad. Like, my pops he just did a lot of great things. Like, they named the street after him in the city like 3 years ago. I mean, they still have an award. The police officers still have an award named in his honor for all the community service work he did. And there's really 2 big moments that I remember from my father, and they're both at the funeral. One was being in the limousine for the first time, and the second was when he passed, sitting on stage and looking out at a sea of people. Like, literally the whole entire city, like surrounding cities, news, everything. It was a sea of people. And I just remember that distinctively, because I remember thinking to myself, who is this guy, right? Like, and why would this many people show up for whatever's going on right now? Because I had no idea. And it's all about your legacy. It's the mark that you leave. And all of us are here for a very short time. If you think about it, like, we're not dinosaurs, right? We're not here for thousands of years, and we can't predict when we're gone. So we're here for a second. We've got to make our impact and leave. You guys found the business that you're in because you want to help others. It's really hard to be in this business and not have a heart, because if you don't, then you'll fail right away immediately, right? So your whole thing is helping people live healthier lives. It's helping yourself be healthier. It's helping people become financially free, blah, 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 blah. So you're leaving a ripple, right? You're leaving a legacy. You're leaving a mark. So my dad's mark, I figured, I saw it when I was 3.5 years old. I just didn't understand it yet. And as I got older, there was nothing I really wanted to be in life. I wasn't passionate about anything. Usually young boys, they want to be like their father. You know, I want to be, you know, a police officer, etc. But I didn't have that connection. And my mom was a nurse, so she'd come home and tell us how many people died every day. And that is something I didn't want to do. I was like, I don't want to just hang out with dead people. So I would just literally just try to think about, man, what would I want to be? And there was nothing. Like, I didn't want to be a superhero. I didn't want to be anything. So I kind of just drifted through life not knowing. And it wasn't until my sophomore year in high school where I fell in love for the first time. Well, actually, I didn't fall in love for the first time my sophomore year in high school. I fell in love with Lisa in the Cult Jam. It was this lady that, like, when I was a freshman, I was like in love with her, this like R&B singer. That was the first time I fell in love, but I knew I couldn't get her. But the second time was my sophomore year in high school. My mom is from this small town called Bird's Nest, Virginia. Bird's Nest is about as big as your computer screen. Like, literally, it's like there's no one. It's population like 4. And it was like me and my family. And everybody in Bird's Nest, Virginia was related to me. So being a 16-and-a-half-year-old boy in a place where you can get arrested for hanging out with some of the girls around your neighborhood, like, that wasn't cool. Like, it wasn't my ideal vacation. So we'd sit there for a week and just stare at each other. So one of these fun-filled days, while me and my brother and my sister were just staring at each other, I looked under my cousin's bed, and this dude had like 100 newspaper articles. And I picked up one of the articles, and there was my cousin with the basketball. He was dunking a basketball, and it said Carlos Taylor scores whatever, how many points to win. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, my cousin is famous. Like, holy crap, this is insane. So I read every single article. And then I looked on his wall, and he had like 50 of like senior pictures, like those little high school senior pictures of like the hottest girls that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I read the back of those too, of course. And I started doing this math. I was like, if I play basketball, I can not only be famous, but I can get a date. And that would be dope, because MC Hammer just came out. So I had like Hammer pants. I had like that eraser haircut they're trying to bring back. I was in like multiple friend zones. I wasn't getting any dates at that time. So I'm like, I want to play hoops. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to get a date. It's on. So we drive back home, 5.5 hours from Bird's Nest, Virginia to New Jersey. I find this little Pizza Hut rubber ball in my house somewhere. I never played basketball before in my life. I walk to 3 miles to this court. I look at the basket. I'm like, here we go. You know, it all starts here, One Eye Willie. And I just throw the ball up, and it looks like I got tasered. The ball goes over the hoop, rolls down the hill. So I'm like, probably, went out, probably rained yesterday or the week before. Let me try that again. So I get the ball again, throw the ball up. The ball goes over the basket, down the hill. And so after about 2 hours of that craziness, I realized something that I just had no idea. I sucked at basketball. Like, I was really, really bad. And when you're 6'4" and black and you suck at basketball, that doesn't match. Like, that's weird. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to do? I want to play basketball. This is just not going to work. And I cannot make this up. This like 5'6" Korean guy comes walking out of the woods towards the court. Like, I swear on everything I love, like walking out of the woods. And he goes, my name's Ray. Would you mind if I showed you how to shoot a basketball? And I was like, yes, that would be great. So just to make some little clarification, I later found out that Ray had a house by the woods. It wasn't like some creepy dude with candy was like in the woods looking at me like, hey, wanna? No, he had a house there. So I just want to clarify that. So he comes out, and for the next 2 hours, Ray showed me how to shoot a basketball. And what he did that day is what you guys do pretty much every day, right? He changed my life with one interaction. You guys can change someone's life with one interaction. And when Ray gave me 2 hours of his time and left, I still sucked at basketball, but I was a little less suckier than when he came, right? And so he planted this seed in my head of belief. It's like someone losing 1 pound for the first time. They're like, wait a second, I can do this. But they need to do that first, right? Like, you can talk until you're blue in the face until people see results, especially someone like our generation where it's like, why did I lose 90 pounds in 4 days? Like, what's happening? I'm freaking out. This doesn't work. I'm not drinking another shake, right? People don't have patience with the process. And so when Ray came and did that, like my first book is called The Power of Positivity. I have a chapter about Ray, and I've only saw Ray like 4 times in my life, because if without him, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, he literally turned the course of my life. So I started playing basketball every day. I started putting 6.5 hours, 7 hours in. And when people talk about, I'm grinding right now, man, I'm grinding. They're like working for like 10 minutes. It's like, I'm grinding. I'm like, dude, you don't know what grind is. Like, I was raised by someone who was the epitome of what grinding is, like what work ethic was. So that's all I knew. My mom, through osmosis, like it just sprinkled down on me. So I realized if I was going to play basketball, I had to put 6 hours in, 7 hours in. So I never forget my junior and senior prom. I was watching the limousines drive past me as I was shooting on the basketball court. And one very extremely important thing is you guys have to understand. Sometimes you have to sacrifice what you like to get what you love. And that's a very hard concept for people to realize. Like, it's easy to say it, but it's hard to live it. So for me, I had to sacrifice going out with my friends and going to parties and all this other stuff, because I knew that I had to play. Like, there's no way I was going to college without basketball. We didn't have the money. So I knew that this is something I had to dedicate myself to. So my junior year, I made JV because I was terrible, cut from varsity. Senior year, everybody makes varsity. I'm on a 4-19 team. I'm sitting on the bench. I'm passing out water. I'm really good at it. Like, I'm really good at passing out water. I'm passing behind my back, behind my head. I was great. Never played. And at the end of my senior year, our coach brought us all in this circle, and he was going one by one. Like, hey, Kevin, you were great this year, and blah, blah, blah. And he got to me, and he was like, and Cornell, you're going to be a good businessman. And I was like, what in the hell did he just, like, what? I was so bad at basketball, he had to make something up. So I had this big chip on my shoulder. And when people tell you can't do something, right, we developed this huge chip. And I used to have people tell me all the time how bad I was at basketball. Like, my brother's friends, like, people used to sleep over my house and then wake up and tell me that I sucked at basketball. And one thing I always tell people is never let anyone's negative words stop your positive actions. Never. Like, they're words. Like, once you say it, they're gone. And people let words stop them in their track. And I never understood that. Like, you can say whatever you want about me. It's not going to stop me from pursuing what I want. And at the time, my why, right? You hear this all the time now. It's so popular now. My why or my purpose was to be famous, to get girls, But I changed it. I changed my why. I want to play professional basketball because I never wanted my mom to work another day in her life. And when your why is strong enough, your energy, oh my God, is through the roof. You don't want to go to sleep. It doesn't matter if you're sick. A lot of people say, well, you know what? I don't feel like getting up and making this call. I don't feel like getting up. Well, your why is not strong enough. If you tell me right now that I have to run a marathon because my kids are at the end of it and they need me, I'll break every marathon record there is. If you tell me to run a 5K for $3, I'm like, and I'm good, right? So it's all about your why. And I'll never forget when we got out of high school. When I got out of high school, I had no college offers, obviously. I was terrible. My mom took me to a tryout. And it was like right down the street. It was like a Division III school. It was like a really small school. And I'm sitting there. I'm like a baby deer. Like, I'm embarrassed. My mom's watching this like craziness. And at the end, it was me, my mom, and the coach. And the coach, out of the kindness of his heart, was like, Cornell, here's the thing. You can be on the team, but you're probably never going to play. Like, never. Like, if everybody dies twice, maybe you'll play, but that has to happen. And I was like, yes. Like, I didn't care. I was like, I have a college jersey. Are you kidding me? I was like, let's do this. And I look to my left, and my mom like is straight, mean mug, stone face. And there's only 3 of us in the office. And my mom raises her hand. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? And the coach calls my mom, says, Miss Thomas. And she goes, Coach Gemma, like with her neck, like this. And I'm like, oh, somebody's about to die. Because I know that look. I know when that happens, usually someone dies after. She goes, how many players have gone from this school to the NBA? And I just start sinking in my chair. And Coach Gemma looks at me, looks at my mom, and like looks back at me again, like if I turned into somebody else. And he goes, Miss Thomas, none. And she goes, oh, like, let's go, boo-boo. Time to go. This school is terrible. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're killing me. You're ruining it. Like, talk to myself. So me and my mom were driving home. We're super close. And it was just a quiet car ride. Like, there was nothing said. And she wasn't yelling or anything like that. But I realized in that silence that my mom believed in my dream more than I did. She's the only person I share my dream with. I was embarrassed to share my dream, right? And so that's why she asked, because she knew what I wanted to do with it. So she just thought, well, would you want me to ask this? Like, you're not saying anything. And so I will let you know something, and this is extremely powerful. If anybody believes in you and your dreams more than you, they're probably not going to happen. And until you flip that switch, until you believe in yourself more than anybody else, that's when you're going to have the power to chase what you want. And when I changed that mindset, when I changed that thinking, when my why changed and I realized that no one's going to believe in me more than me, that's when I took off. That's when basketball started happening. I got a full scholarship playing North Dakota. I come back home. I'm playing with NBA guys and guys in Europe. I get a contract to play in Europe professionally. A week before I get that contract, before I'm supposed to fly away to Portugal, I blow my Achilles tendon. Playing 3-on-3 with some friends, some nondescript game. 16 years old, all this time, putting everything into basketball, sacrificing everything. Week away, I blow my Achilles. I rupture my Achilles. And it happened on a Sunday. I was at the doctor, and the doctor goes, Cornell, I'm going to grab the back of your calf. If you feel excruciating pain, we have to do surgery on Thursday. Grab the back of my calf. I feel excruciating pain. Thursday, I'm looking at a boot. Thursday morning, I'm looking at a hard cast from my toes to the middle of my thigh. By Thursday, early afternoon, my contract is already voided, right? Because I'm injured. It's a year injury. And then I'm watching my mom Friday morning kiss me on the forehead and walk out to one of those 3 jobs I promised myself she never had to work again. And that moment was the hardest moment of my life to date. Like, talk about it now, I still get goosebumps because I will never forget how I felt. I felt like a failure. I was like, I can't believe that I let her down. And so when she walked out, I let it out for hours. Like, I was crying for hours. And then I started getting pissed, right? Like, when bad things happen, you start getting pissed. And I just started going like, I can't believe this has happened to me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm in full on like, why me mode, right? That's the mode we get into when adversity strikes us. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Blah, 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 blah. And I started thinking about my mom. And the one thing about my mom that stuck out right away is that she's about solutions. She's not about problems. Most people we know in life, they're about problems. If you concentrate fully on the problem, you'll never have time for the solution. So I'm sitting here with an injury that's going to get better in time, right? It's going to be a process. It's going to be a haul, but it's going to get better. And I'm acting like my life is over. That doesn't make any sense. So I changed my mindset. Like I said, adversity is your best education. I was getting a PhD to this point, right? Like, I was getting a PhD in MBA, all sorts of stuff. And so I just started working, and I got myself back. And the one thing I'll tell you guys is, you have a plan for yourself. You have a plan for your business. But then there's another plan that you have no idea what's going to happen. And your life can go a lot of different ways, and you have to be able to go with it. I was reading this book by Napoleon Hill, and they're talking about these doctors that did research on people with terminal illnesses. And they're talking about the 5 stages of someone that finds out they have a terminal illness. The first stage is denial, right? No way it's going to happen to me. Second stage is anger. You get pissed off that it's happening to you. Third stage is bargaining. Please, Lord, give me 2 months, give me 3 months. Let me see my grandchild, graduate. The fourth stage is depression, where I can't believe this. I want my life to be over. And then the fifth stage is acceptance, when you can finally accept, okay, this is happening, and I'm going to move on from it. So what these doctors found out, that the 5 stages of people with terminal illnesses, it's the same thing with the 5 stages of change, right? When you have a major change that happens in your life, what's the first thing you do? For me, personally, denial, right? No way. There's no way I can't believe that this is happening. Then I'm angry. Then I'm bargaining. Man, maybe it's gonna be an ankle sprain. Maybe it's not that bad. And then I was depressed. And then there's acceptance. Now, what people don't understand is you have to get through depression to accept it. And once you can accept it, you can move on from it. And that's the biggest thing about change. You guys are change agents. You're trying to change people's lives, right? So you're going to catch all 5 stages of that before they can accept that, 1, a change needs to happen, and 2, they're able to change. So they're never going to be able to change until they see that they can. So that was me. And then people ask me now, like I started coaching basketball, I started training kids, opening my own business and all that. But people ask me now, well, how'd you get into positivity, and how'd you get into writing books and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Facebook. And they're like, what? I'm like, Facebook. I woke up one morning, and I swear to God, it wasn't even an election. I woke up one morning and I looked on my timeline, and it was the most negative stuff I've ever seen in my life. Like, literally, it was a full moon the night before, and everybody was freaking depressed. Like, everybody. Like, OMG, my boyfriend sucks so bad. Like, SMH, my cat is so cross-eyed. Like, just the dumbest, first world problems I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I can't read my timeline right now because I'm going to put my head through a wall. So I had this book literally called Book of Positive Quotations. And I started taking out a quote and putting them on my timeline every day, because I woke up super early and I said, okay, I want people to see this. I want this to be the first thing people see. I want to start a movement. So I started doing it. And then one day I lost the book, and I made my own quote, and people still liked it. So I was like, screw the book. I got this. Right? So 6 months go by, and a buddy of mine goes, dude, where do you get your quotes from? And I was like, well, actually, I make them up myself, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. You should write a blog. I'm like, that's great. What the hell is a blog? And he explained to me, we were sitting in Panera Bread, and he explained to me what a blog was. I just started writing. And when it came to writing a book, I just said, okay, well, I'm seeing what my message is doing. I want to write a book. So I just started writing a book. We hold ourselves back so much. It's just amazing to me. Like, the people I coach one-on-one, I have people that I coach, and they're just like, I can't possibly do that. I'm like, you're right. You can't. Because if you can, or if you can't, whatever you tell yourself, you're 100% right. If you say you can't do it, you are 100% right. If you say you can do it, you're 100% right. So you telling yourself that you can't, you're right. You can't do it. You look at your business, you look at the people in the top 5%. What's the difference between you and them? Nothing. Nothing. These millionaires, nothing. These people that walk across that stage in Vegas, nothing. They're human. They bleed just like you do. They poop, everything. They're human. They're not robots, right? The difference is they believe that they could get there. And you can interview every single one of them. There will not one of them will tell you, I always knew I'd be here. That's crap. They've been through the same thing you guys are going through. The problem with this type of business is people are so afraid to hear no that they run from it. I can't possibly approach this person. What if they say no? Well, who gives a crap? Who cares? There's over 7 billion people on the planet. It's like a dude that goes to a bar with 500 hot girls and approaches one, and she says no, and then he walks out the bar. Play the numbers. Play the numbers. The ugliest dude on my basketball team still got dates. The ugliest. The guys had an eye on the middle of their forehead. Why? They play the numbers. Some girl at some point can be like, well, you know what? He's got nice teeth. He's okay. And there you go. Right? So when I talk about positivity, the one thing I tell people that's very important, I don't want to take up all you guys' time, but one thing I tell people that's very important is what positivity is, right? People think that positivity is like your dog just dies and you're like, it's okay. And you pick it up and you dance with it, the dead body. That's not it. Positivity isn't the absence of human emotion. Positivity is not living in negative emotion. It's very important to understand, okay? When something happens, any adversity that comes into your life, it's okay to have a human reaction to it. If I'm driving my 3-year-old or my 1-year-old in a car and somebody cuts me off, I'm not going to say, thank you, sir. I'm going to be like, what the, what's happening? But if I stub my toe at 8 a.m., it's not going to bother me at 12 p.m., right? You can't live in it. Because if you live in it, you're wasting time. And I can go out tomorrow and get hit by an elephant, right? And not be here. I don't know where an elephant would hit me. I'm not in Africa, but you know what I mean? And not be here. Like, do I really want to spend my life? Do I really want to spend my time being miserable? It doesn't make sense. And so my second book that I wrote was called The Power of Me, Army of One. I thought I had a copy, but I don't. And it was all about being great. And that's another concept people can't understand. Like, you guys are on this Zoom call listening to some dude from New Jersey, right? Something inside of you wants to be great. Because why would you be doing this extra training? There's couples on here. You guys can be going, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, right? I mean, I'm running to CVS tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. to get like a car. Like, I'm married, so it was like high five, right? But I mean, for you guys, it's like, like you guys can be doing anything. You guys can be watching TV, right? You guys are on a call. You're on a training call. So the people that are on this call, I know for a fact, there's something about you inside of you that makes you pretty freaking great, And that's why when Eva said, can you come on and speak to, I'm like, yep, in a second. Because if anybody is going to come in here at it was 9:30, 10 o'clock by me, but like 7 o'clock by you, right before Valentine's Day, and want to learn something, you guys are the people that I want to hang out with. Like, I want to kick it with you guys. Like, when I come to LA in the March, we're kicking it. I don't know where you guys are, but if you are in LA, we would kick it. If you're not, then wherever, but you know what I mean? So the one thing I want to leave with you guys before I let you guys go, because I saw that the time just hit, 3 things to being great. And this is super easy, right? 3 things to be great. The first things first, you've got to see it. And I'm going to use the analogy of a road map, right? So you think about a map. If you don't know where you are, right, you're always going to be stuck right where you are, right? So if you have no idea where you are, you're going to be stuck. So you guys all have a fundamental knowledge of where you are. Now, to where you're going, it doesn't matter how you get there, like all the lines and the highways and the turns and all that stuff, that's going to play itself out. But you have to have an idea of where you're going. Like, where am I going to go? Like, when I sucked at basketball, I used to have these daydreams, and I was so freaking good at my daydream. I was like dunking on Michael Jordan. I was like taking his girlfriend. I was the man. Like, and I was terrible. And I just saw that I can be great. The second thing, you have to believe it. It can't be this. And there's nothing cocky about believing you can be great. That's confidence in yourself. That's another thing. Stop giving a shit what people think about you. Like, seriously. I know it's easier said than done, but there are so many sheep on our planet. There are billions of sheep. And you know what sheep love? They love other sheep. Why? Because lions freaking scare them. Sheep wake up and they say, what are we all going to do today? Lions wake up and they're like, you know what? What am I going to kill today? What am I going to freaking eat today? What goal am I going to absolutely destroy today? I'm a freaking lion. I'm a crazy person. Okay? I don't want to be a sheep. So when sheep say things, I don't even hear words. I just hear, I don't hear it. It just makes me hungry. So understand something, guys. Believe it. Please believe it. You guys that are on here right now, even people that I can't see on the screen, which is a little creepy, you guys are, trust me, it's going to happen. And the third thing, which separates the good from the great and the great from the extraordinary, is you have to work your butt off to do it. You have to work your freaking butt off to be great. It is not coming easy. Everybody that you see on our planet that's doing great things, they work their tail off. And like I said, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit. So you guys are awesome. I feel like I have a whole new family right now. I love you guys. If you need anything, Facebook friend me, Cornell Thomas. I want a bunch of new Facebook friends. If you have any questions, if you have anybody, you need someone to talk to, I am here. I'm that guy. Like, I don't just say shit. I mean it. If you need somebody, I'm here from now until I'm not on this earth. Eva, you can tell them, I mean it.
Yes.
So if you need someone.
Totally vouch for what he's saying. I mean, incredible. He's been an incredible friend for me. And
I get goosebumps. I got goosebumps with these guys. Like, seriously.
I love it. And if you can, hang on for another couple of minutes, I'd love to just open it up to everybody and really hear from a few of you. What are you taking from what Cornell shared tonight?
Oh my God. Amazing. And Cornell, I've talked to you on Facebook too. And, just amazing. So many fabulous nuggets. And every time I was writing something in my notebook, somebody was typing it in the group chat. I'm like, wow, amazing. Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
Can't wait till March when you're in LA.
I will be there. Trust me. We're hanging out.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll just share real quick that I'm just so proud of everyone that's on here because, like Cornell said, literally, you were on here on a Monday before Valentine's Day at 7 or 10, whatever time it is, like really, allowing myself to really get that I am someone putting myself in situations to be great, as are all of us. And there's lots of people that are choosing something else, but this is what we're choosing. And I just want everyone to really get that what Cornell said. I want to acknowledge everyone for being on this call because you are all awesome. And just tweaking. Maybe you got to get clear on your map. Maybe you got to clear on the actions, but you're really putting yourself in the spot that you need to be to become great because you already are.
Love it. Love it.
Hey, Cornell.
Hey.
Number one, I appreciate this call. And number two, I just want to say how much I appreciate how clear you're a magnificent storyteller.
Thank you.
And were you always that clear? And if not, where did that come from?
Okay, so first off, what's your name? We're brothers now.
Yeah, and I will definitely hit you up. I'm Gary from Minnesota. Yeah.
Gary from Minnesota. Love it. Nice to meet you. So one thing that I can tell you guys, it's funny. When I was really young, my mom's church, they'd made the kids go up in front of the congregation like read a chapter or so it kind of got my fear of speaking in front of people away at a very young age. But my fear, my storytelling, it's happened because I have so many brothers. And, it's like we'd sit around and like snap and make fun of each other. Like, actually I was the youngest boy, so they really snap and make fun of me. So I ended up having to like really be quick with it. And that's where it just came from. And my imagination, like, I let my mind just go. And sometimes I say stuff and I think about it. I'm like, that made zero sense. Like, I just talked about a baby unicorn. That doesn't make any sense. But I just enjoy this. Like, the thing I think, Gary, with you guys is if you guys could just have conversations with people, because you guys are all amazing. If you could just have conversations with people, whatever you're doing in business would grow exponentially just by being who you guys are. I know you guys, I'm not knocking any of these network marketing gurus that tell you, like, do this, whatever. They're where they're at for a reason. All I'm saying is this. Have a freaking conversation. So if you go to the supermarket and you meet someone and they say, you know what, Gary, here's my number. I'm running to take my son Zachary to his basketball game. They have a championship. And the next time you guys talk, you say, how was Zach's championship game? You guys win? That's more powerful than any pitch. That's more powerful than any technique. That's more powerful than anything. And one thing that I forgot, it's on the Jocelyn Ty screen. My man who just said that great thing about you guys being together, I don't know your name, but awesome. He said something about luck. And guys, opportunity and luck, that happens when you're in movement. So another piece of advice I give you guys, if you feel stagnant in your business, if you feel like something's not happening, get off the couch and just go. Just drive. Get out somewhere. And you'll never, like, I meet people at the airport. I meet people at Barnes and Nobles. I meet people in the supermarket. Like, I feel on my forehead, it says, come say hi to me, or free hugs or something. You guys are all approachable. If you're sitting in your house and you're making calls, or you're doing something that's not happening, get out the house. Get inspiration. I'm inspired by everything. I'm going to do a Facebook Live about this meeting right here, right? Seriously, because I'm inspired by it. This fires me up. Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm not going to be able to go to bed tonight. Thank you for that. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep tonight because I'm fired up by the energy. Think about this, guys. We've got Minnesota, Arizona, California, New Jersey, all these different places. We're here together as one. You're trying to tell me that this isn't meant to be? Imagine if the freaking world looked like this. You guys are change agents. You guys are trying to make the planet a better place. That's why I love you guys already, because you're trying to make the world a better place. You're trying to make people healthier. You're not selling crack, right? You're selling great stuff to help change people's lives. I mean, if you're selling crack, I just tell the government right now, I have nothing to do with this. Yeah, just don't put me involved with it. But you guys are selling some great stuff, and what you guys are doing is you're selling people on the idea that you don't have to be in a rat race. That is priceless. You don't have to be in the rat race. You don't have to get on the hamster wheel every single day. You could actually be an entrepreneur and work from home. Like, if my son has basketball games, guess what, Gary? I can go to them whenever I want, because someone's not dictating my time and telling me that I have to be somewhere else. I'll speak when I want to speak. I'll bring him with me. I had meetings all day today. I don't have a 9 to 5. If you put me in a cubicle, I have a book called The Power of Negativity, right? It's not me. It's not who I am, right? So what you guys are sharing with people, not selling, but sharing with people, is amazing, right? So you have stories inside of you. Eva has stories inside. You guys all have stories. The one thing I tell my people that want to get into speaking is think about stories in your life that you can share with people, right? You have a story. For sure you have a story. Eva for sure has a story. I know Eva very personally. Like, you guys all have stories that you can bring to light. Why not add those stories into some of your conversations as you start talking, right? Minnesota is a story. Mall of America, cold as hell. Like, that's a story. There's a lot of stuff going on there. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just comfortable talking to people. I love this. I live for this. I live for the interaction. You guys start living for the interaction. Trust me, man, what you do is going to be really easy. You're the man, Gary.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome, Cornell. And I know we're a little bit over time, so what is that?
The Dwight bobblehead.
So I just want to thank you so much, Cornell. This was incredible. I know. I feel like this calm energy right now, like kind of sinking in. And it's true. You're an incredible friend. You're an incredible person, and you're part of the family now. I love it. Love it.
It's an honor for me. It is. I'm absolutely blown away, honored. If Eva told me to stay for 4 more hours, I can do that in a freaking second. I am honored to be on with you guys. I see the numbers like growing up, and as you guys are chatting and stuff. Seriously, if you need me, Cornell Thomas on Facebook, please, please, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you guys further and just connect with you guys and see how you guys are doing. So any problems, any issues, just want to say hi, want a high five, chest bump, just hit me up. I'm there.
All right, guys. So we'll close it out. Incredible call. As always, so fun to be with you guys on a Monday night. And I want to just echo what Aaron said, that we're all here, that you guys are showing up. It is Monday night, different hour for everybody. And let's just have a rockin' week, guys. All right, let's
go.
Let's do it.
Thanks, Cornell.
Thank you,
Bye,
Cornell. Thank you, Eva.
Awesome call.
Yeah, love y'all.
Fantastic.